These are some packs of sugar that my daughters packed away under my supervision 3 years ago. It's my way of kind of bringing them into the prepping thing and showing them how to prep. And I show them it when I pull it out to show them that, this is the sugar that they put away and that we're still using it. I probably have more than a year of this sugar still left, even from 2009. Sugar has a very long shelf life. Sugar now is, if I went out to buy this, I'd have to pay 35 to 40% more than what I did in 2009. With my food storage, I didn't want to go out and buy food that I wasn't using. I wanted to have a food storage program that I kind of rotate through depending on what, of course, the shelf life is. But I wanted stuff that we would eat every day or, often. And today I'm going to share with you 5 recipes that I can pull off my food storage shelf at any given time. And some of it I have more than others. Like I probably got 3 months worth of tuna on the shelf, and maybe I've got 2 years worth of rice, but I've got all this incorporated into my food storage system. And I rotate through it. I use it. And these are recipes that my family likes. It's only 5 of them, but I wanted to put out 5 recipes for you that you could probably make for a family of 5 like mine for about $5. 2 years ago, I put out some vids saying that now would be the time, if you can afford it, to add to your food storage, because this is the cheapest that you're ever going to be able to buy you that food. And I was right. And I'm telling you again that if you can add to your food storage, now is the time to bulk up and do that, because you're never going to be able to buy this food as cheap as you can now. Your food storage as part of your prepping plan, if you're really prepping, is far more important than your guns and bullets, at least at this point. In fact, I believe guns, like I had predicted before, are going to continue to get cheaper. Food is going to continue to get more expensive. And food is definitely more important in surviving. And the reason why I like a food storage program that I rotate through, because I know nothing's going to go to waste. And more importantly, I know that my body and my family's bodies are used to the food. A lot of people discount that. If you were to switch over to MREs, let's say, in a week's time, you're going to cause your body a lot of problems. The same with dehydrated food. Another thing that people tend to overlook greatly are essential oils when dealing with dehydrated food. These are all things that you should be looking into, the nutritional factor and how your body's going to react to that switchover. That's why I like a system that I have on the shelf that I'm constantly eating through and actually using and developing recipes for. I made a point when picking these recipes out that they didn't contain anything really special. There aren't any specialty items. There are a couple items that I prefer, but they're items that anybody can get, pretty much wherever they're living. A lot of the other recipes that I've given you are take do-it-yourself or homemade skills, whether it's making homemade pizza or, some of the other specialty recipes, with the seafood. These recipes are for anybody. You can get this pretty much anywhere from any grocery store. Tonight is baked potato night, and I buy these gigantic, delicious baked potatoes from Sam's Club, who buys them from a farm in Wisconsin that's not too far away from me. And I think this is a 15-pound bag for about $5. So we get about 3 meals out of this. 400 degrees for about an hour. These real crumbled bacon bits are pretty good on the potatoes. They are 100% real bacon, and they're actually 50% less fat than the pan-fried bacon. But tonight I'm going to make up some real bacon. Either one will work really well. And you only need a little bit. A little bit of bacon crumbles go a long way. On the side I'm going to serve some broccoli, and when I'm growing it, it comes in fresh. But during the wintertime, I'll pick this up from Sam's Club as well. It comes in a big bag. Really fresh stuff and pretty tasty. All right, tonight's sides, of course, are going to be the bacon, and then I've got some shredded sharp cheddar, some spring onions, butter, salt and pepper, and light sour cream. But you let your imagination run wild, whatever you guys like. Tomatoes are good, and I've even used chili as a side. Okay, quick tip, quickest way to prepare a baked potato: pound it down on every side, smashing it up, then leave it like that, or like this, I mean. That's it, Sarah. Kind of hot. Then cut it down the middle, and then push it up on the side, and it's ready to be stuffed. Okay, there's my tater. Now, the all-important kid test, because this is what everybody wants to know that has a family. Do you guys like baked potato night?
Yes.
You like it?
Yeah.
Everybody,
It's
all
awesome.
vote? All right, good.
Yeah.
That's the kid test. It passes the kid test. Okay, it's Tuesday night, and we're going to do tuna patties. Now, my family loves fish, and we try to catch as many as we can, but let's face it, it's expensive to buy. So if you're not, if you're not catching them yourself, this is a good way to supplement it. I've got a couple cans of tuna, 2 or 3 spring onions. You can use regular onions, but spring onions are the best, I think. A little bit of lemon juice, 10 saltine crackers, 3/4 to a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and some pepper. It also calls for salt, but I feel like there's enough salt in the saltine crackers to do the job. And basically what I'm going to do is combine all these ingredients into my bowl and make patties out of the mix. I usually mix up the tuna first in the bowl just to shred it up and get it into small pieces. Then I just start dumping in the other ingredients. And then you crumble up the crackers, just put the eggs in there, and just a tablespoon or so of the lemon juice. And you can use, just squeeze 1 lemon in there. That'll do it too. And I've made it without lemon juice, and it works just as good. The lemon just kind of puts a little citrus in there. Pepper. Out of this recipe, I get 5 tuna patties, which is perfect for my family. And even mine, I'll make a little bigger, and then my smallest child, I'll make a little smaller. You can kind of customize them to what your needs are, and you can spice them up at this point too if you like spice. I think I'll put a little bit of Creole seasoning on there. All right, let's get these going. I'm going to serve this with a side of rice. White rice, just plain white rice, and some peas. Cook them for about 5 minutes on each side, and then flip them. Just like that, almost like a golden brown pancake. Perfect. 5 minutes each side. Okay, so that's our tuna patty meal on Tuesday. But the important thing is this kid approved? Do you guys like this?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Good stuff, yeah. So that's what all of these meals that I'm showing you again all through the week. The kids really like them. And, Wednesday night is skillet brown pork chops with gravy. And we don't eat a lot of pork. This is one of the only recipes that we have. I like to have, a pork loin once in a while, or a pork chop, just browned up or grilled. And this is one of the recipes that we have. And it's pretty cheap. For $5, I can buy enough meat for the family and still have a little bit left over with the kids. It's a very simple rub to prepare them. It's a little bit of sage, a little bit of marjoram, and a little bit of black pepper. I like to put that on for about, whoa, that's loud. I like to put that on for about 30 minutes before I cook. Okay, get that pan nice and hot, put a little oil in it, skillet, and let's get our pork chops here. I would want it to be a little louder than that when I put them in there. I really want them to fry hard and seal up. That's pretty good. It's only probably 5 minutes on each side. You want to grill them up good. Okay. That's what we want. A little brown. Well, now I actually cooked these for a little longer, about 20 minutes. They were a little thicker than I thought. So still keeping the fire on the pan. I'm going to take them out of here. And I'm going to take some minced onion and garlic. And very quickly, in the little bit of oil that's left, I want to saute these and caramelize them a little bit. Just a few minutes. Just after a couple minutes, you want to put your broth in. I've got a cup of beef broth here. Vegetable broth, even chicken broth will work, but I just happen to have a cup of beef, and that is the best. Okay. As the beef broth is coming to a simmer, you want to put, maybe a half a cup of sour cream, a tablespoon of flour, and a little bit of mustard. Dijon mustard works best. You can also add mushrooms at this point to soften them up in there, but I don't have those tonight. I mess with this recipe all the time. It's different every time. This is the basic. So mix this together and then put it in with the beef broth. Mix that sour cream, mustard. Put a little bit of water into this because it was just getting too thick. And then right at the end, If you want to put some Worcestershire sauce in there, I think that tops it off nice to make the gravy. All right, Wednesday night meal. We got skillet fried pork chops and gravy, mashed potatoes on the side, and succotash. So, pretty affordable meal for the family. And does it pass the kid test? What do you think?
It's really good. I love it. It's very nutritious.
Yeah, I like it too. All right, it's Thursday night, and it's going to be Mexican food night for us. Now, of all the recipes that I'm showing you in this vid, this is by far one of our favorites. We actually have this a lot. The kids love it. They gobble it down, and my wife and I really like it too. It's simple and easy, very cheap, and very nutritious. Americans don't realize how fortunate they have it, but more than half the world lives on rice and beans every day of the week, and they're happy that they even have that. Now, I'm happy that my family likes this meal because this kind of fits into my long-term prepping plan. My long-term food storage is greatly based on rice and beans. They have a high shelf life and a very high nutritional factor. So again, like I was talking about in the beginning of this vid, it's important that my family's body is adjusted to the food that we store. That's why I rotate through it, and this is a great example of it. Now, the ingredients of this are pretty easy. I buy all this stuff when it's on sale and only on sale. But the one thing that makes a big difference are these Tortilla Land tortillas. They're raw tortillas from Costco. And I actually got that tip about a year and a half ago off Costco from another one of my subs. And they said, you should try these raw tortillas. You have to cook them. It's a little more work. But, you freeze them and you take them out when you need it. The whole bag costs about $7, and I think I get, pretty close, or if not more, 4 meals out of the whole thing. So it's pretty cheap, and it just makes a huge difference in taste. The raw tortillas, cooking them as you eat them, huge difference in taste. So we're sold on it. The meal basically is cheese quesadillas. That's what I'm going to use this for. And then I'm going to have some refried beans for a side dish and dipping, and then I'm going to make some Mexican rice. Now again, I'm just giving you the very basic and simple recipes, the recipes that we like. There's probably a zillion different variations of Mexican rice. I use a little garlic salt, a little ground cumin, a little tomato in there. Sometimes I use chopped tomatoes, fresh tomatoes. This time I got a little can on sale of sauce, and I'm going to use that, and a little bit of onion. For Mexican rice, I heat up the skillet. I put 2 tablespoons of oil in there. Put in a cup of rice, and we're going to brown and fluff this rice. Doesn't take very long, 5 or 10 minutes. Even your onion, give I would say, about a teaspoon of garlic salt, and then about a half a teaspoon of cumin. You can throw all kinds of stuff in Mexican rice, but this is a nice recipe. And then just cook that in with your rice, your brown rice as well. Just for a little bit. Mix it all in your tomato. And 2 cups of chicken broth. We'll simmer that down. I'm using Costco chicken broth. It's good stuff, but you can use bouillon. We've got lots of that in our food storage as well. Once I get the Mexican rice simmering, that's when I dump the 2 cans of refried beans in, mix them up, and put those on a low heat. Okay, when I'm doing the tortillas or quesadillas or anything in mass like pancakes, you need one of these big electric griddles. And for the tortillas, I put it on 400, as hot as it'll go. I let it heat up. All right. Once it gets hot enough, you put these on. It only takes a couple minutes on each side. I think you can squeeze 3 on here if you really want. The first one starts to bubble up. Switch it over, you got a little brown on there. That's when I add the cheese. When you flip it over, it'll usually start to bubble up on the other side. That's when I take the other one I got cooking, which is brown, throw it right on the top, and pat it down. And then, like a conveyor belt, I put another one on right away. Let that one cook and melt down. Now, if you have extra chicken or leftover steak or something, you could slice that up and make chicken or steak quesadillas as well. You can expand with these recipes, believe me. I've already flipped this one over and I'm cooking on the other side. This one looks like it's ready. Yep, a little brown on there. Okay. Well, this one's done. Perfect. I'll throw that one into the ready and put a new one on. This is when I come back to my brown rice, just to make sure I'm not burning it and trying to get it to that perfect place between the I guess, too wet and too dry. This is almost there. We're still keeping the heat on a little bit. Take your pizza cutter, cut them into quarters, and they'll be ready to serve. Get them on a hot plate. That's my last one. And I always make plenty of these because leftovers of this stuff never goes to waste. And that's how we serve it up. How about it, girls? Do you like this too?
Oh yeah, I love it.
All right.
It's awesome.
Tonight's a good night. Okay, Friday night is pizza night in our house, and I have a great recipe for homemade pizza. It's in one of my earlier vids. But if you don't want to go through the trouble of making homemade pizza, which I guarantee you it is worth it, you should try it at least once in a while, I have a great alternative for you. We pick up a box of 4 pizzas at Kirkland, and this is a really good pizza. We have found it to be really good. It's an all-natural pizza. It's got 100% real cheese, dairy cheese, no hydrogenated oils, no fillers, no preservatives. It's got a breadcrumb crust made with enriched whole wheat flour. It's a really good deal. 4 of them, 4 12-inch pizzas for $10. So that's $2.50 a piece for the pizzas, and we eat 2 of them in one night. Now I augment it with a little cheese that, when I buy this on special at our store, and I also will put my toppings on it, whether it's pepperoni or sausage. I'll usually even buy the sausage when it's on sale at our local store. They make it homemade, and they'll have a sale for them when it's $1 a pack or $2 a pack, and I'll fry it up ahead of time into little chunks and just put it on the pizza to spiff it up a little, maybe with some Italian spices. So here it is, spiffed up a little bit with a little extra sausage that I fried up ahead of time and froze, and then threw some cheese on top of it to make it a little better. Most of the time the kids will just have it plain cheese, and I'll just put a little extra cheese on it. Now listen, this isn't downtown Chicago pizza, but for the budget and the nutrition, it's a pretty good deal. $5 for 2 pizzas. And there it is coming out. Good stuff. Let's eat. So there's just 5 very simple examples of meals that we might have during the week that save us money but yet help us to eat nutritionally. And eating well and cooking is an act of prepping in itself. In fact, eating right and keeping nutrition in mind is an act of prepping your body, which is a very important prepping practice. I've tried to show that example since the beginning of my channel, and that cooking is a top priority for preppers, or should be. Eating right should be a top priority for preppers. If you're not prepping your body, then I really think you're wasting your time. And that also correlates to your mental health as well. Although I can cook and I can get along with it fairly well, I'm a pretty good cook in the field as well. My wife is more of a chef. I can probably cook a better steak than her because I've done it more times, but she really knows what she's doing here. She can make up entire meals on the fly. She can open the fridge and just take leftovers, and I've seen her put out a fantastic, delicious table with it. In fact, here's a great example here on the weekend. She can take what's left over and just a couple of our home preserved tomatoes, quarts of them, and make up what she calls a Portuguese soup. She'll just take some meat and some sausage and whatever leftovers and vegetables and put it together. It's delicious. And that is another prepping skill, because she saves us a ton of money by not wasting food. I will self-admit that I wasted a lot of food before I met my wife. She makes sure that that nothing goes to waste here. It's a great skill. On the weekends, like now, we tend to do larger meals. We spend more time at home. We're not as busy. So my wife does most of the cooking, and because it's just more involved recipes. Especially on Sunday, we always have a nice big meal on Sunday. However, this weekend, I'm going to take a big deer roast, which I've done out of the freezer, and I'm going to cut it up and make slow-cooked deer stew. So that's my next mission. I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Okay. Who's hungry for some hunter stew?
Me.
Okay.
We're very hungry.
Good. I'm glad. We'll serve this right up. Get to work. Some fresh bread. Are you ready?
Yeah.
God bless?
Mm-hmm.
God bless for everything, huh?
Mm-hmm.